My dream was to come here and see the expo, as well as seeing the old expo.
That's right. This video is about me fulfilling my dream of visiting the Expo in Japan. It wasn't really that feasible, and it didn't have the best means of doing it, but I decided 11 days before going that I wanted to go, did it very spontaneously, and I would do it again on a whim. It was amazing. Enjoy.
Welcome to Japan.
I have had this burning passion for architecture for 4 years counting now. The first time I got infatuated by architecture was probably when I stepped inside a building by Zaha Hadid in Milano. Since then I appreciate the art of architecture very much. But now a few years later, and my favorite architect is Taro Ando. The Expo hosting city is his hometown, Osaka, for even more of an incentivization of going. The Expo felt like a dream I didn't know would ever materialize. Until one day I just said, screw it, I'm going. I booked the Expo day for German Representation Day, which we will see later in the video maybe was not the greatest idea. At first I thought of traveling alone, because I've done it before in London, as you can see here. Anyone wants to hear my story about London or my time there, then just write in the comments, leave a comment if you want to know about it, and we'll make another video about it. But anyway, back to it. I have never been outside of Europe before. I was overwhelmed by everything, but I was lucky. I met someone who made me worry less. Someone who made me forget about money issues, or is my luggage still at the hostel issues. I'm very appreciative about that still. Thank you.
You can definitely see how much it has evolved. Like, it's all gotten more modern, and I like to see that, because if you look at this building right there on the other side, it's such a brutalist bare layout. Well, it was trendy at the time, how much it has evolved. I will show you. Hello. From now on, you have to be okay with me in this humble abode and no longer in Japan. I got there and I stood in the burning sun for an hour. I booked a ticket for 12 o'clock, but they didn't really figure out how to get people in quickly. Thus, I had to wait for an hour in 36 degrees of heat. I got sunburned pretty badly. You can still see it on my arms. A month later, which is not great. Let's first talk about the Grand Ring, because the Grand Ring was like the major thing about the Expo, which made it great. You know, it was the magnum opus of the Expo, the Grand Ring, and was really one of my favorite structures I've ever been on or seen, because it's kind of uniting, and also every single like age group was on there walking, so it encouraged everyone to walk and see like what it looks like from above the whole area of the Expo, and you can just easily get from one side to another, take the escalator down, and then you're on the other side instead of walking through masses of people. Easy to get up and down. It was just fantastic infrastructure and a brilliant idea, also because it's made out of wood, very sustainable, and I would just want it here. Can we also copy this, please? That would be great. Like, if we could build something like around a theme park or something, or around us some city center, that would be a dreamlike project. First of all, America was just way too big, just monstrous building, and they made it all about like space. Wouldn't recommend it quite that they talk about it right now because a Nazi is in charge of it, of the biggest private owned space entity in the world, and NASA is getting defunded, so maybe not the greatest timing, but a grand building, very loud. And Thailand, I feel like Thailand had one of the best ideas, just building half of the venue of the house and then just mirroring all of it. So it seems like it's two halves, which is a very, very brilliant idea for what the architects had to work with and what they made at the end of it. It's a very cool idea, and it's pretty much the identity of Thai architecture. Such a roof such as this. Turkmenistan was just ridiculous. They made more monitor than building. Like, it was all just a screen. A huge horse on it. Like, they knew what they were going for, definitely. They wanted to represent their horses and their camels, which is a Times Square-like building. China, of course, great idea. Also great execution. It just looks, to me, like these are two scrolls. That I would love to see that somewhere permanently and not just temporarily. UAE had a grand exhibition where everyone could just enter because it was such a grand hall and everything was just big enough so they could accommodate everyone. Good representation of the theme of the expo, of sustainability, and showing off how you would do it and what your country stands for. Pretty simple, straightforward, but good execution. But I don't feel like the UAE is a place that can really talk about sustainability. Their main city is literally just a big middle finger to God or whoever you want to see up there in the sky or heaven above. It's just a bit middle finger saying like, yeah, we built this shit in the desert and you're not going to do anything about it. So I don't know, they can't just really talk about sustainability, I feel like. I like that Angola at least had representation. Like, Angola had a big building, and like, comparison to other African countries that just had a commons area, like a little booth, Angola maybe should invest in their country more and make it a great country. But they invested in not good architecture, but in a bigger lot at the Expo. I don't know if that's a great idea for such a country as Angola, but you do you, man. Here we have Ukraine, not for sale. I mean, there's not really much to talk about here, but it's a very contemporary Ukraine booth. But everyone knows, okay, let's not talk too much. Like, it's quiet and everyone's just, okay, we get it. Let's not. Azerbaijan had great exhibition. Like, there was a whole like fountain area and like spinning traditional statues that wear traditional Azerbaijani dresses and are doing the traditional dance, and they were spinning in the fountain next to the building. And they have the great buildings of Baku on there. Of course, it's corruption buildings, but great buildings nonetheless. One of them built by one of my favorite architects, Zaha Hadid, which is the Haydar Aliyev Center. We have Monaco. And Monaco, please someone tell me, Monaco has literally almost none, like no square, I don't even know if they have a square kilometer of ocean. Do they even have an EEZ? I don't know. But they made their whole pavilion, they made for marine life. Huh? Who are you to talk about sustainability of marine life? Only because you've made your extension to Monaco, where you put everything and put it somewhere else, marine life, and didn't kill anything, but you just moved it so you had space to make your artificial land. That's not the greatest lesson in sustainability and oceans and caring for ocean creatures, to just say, yeah, fuck you, that's ours now and we will push you aside. Okay, that's not, and they don't even have that much ocean. Okay, so I don't feel like that greatest to talk about this shit. Thank you for reminding us that we should care about our oceans. Thank you. Italy was just very Italian. They made a restaurant. I think they made a restaurant on top of a cocktail bar and a great garden. Like it looked great from the Grand Ring. Yeah, the Singapore ball was also just fantastic. You could see it from everywhere, and I don't feel like they expected there would be another ball with a huge smile right next to it. But that one maybe kind of stole the spotlight from the Singapore ball. Okay, now we get to the saddest part of the day, okay? I mentioned earlier that I exclusively booked on the German day of the expo. Like every single nation has a day where representatives from that nation come. Yeah, and our representative came to the expo. And for that reason, he was in that building. And I think because of that fact that he, like our president or some shit, was in the building, and for that reason, they couldn't open. Like, what's the point, bro? It's German day on the expo, and you don't open because there's a fucking idiot in there? Like, I don't care. I want to see what my country has to offer in Japan. Like, no. Yeah, okay, fantastic, bro. Like, what do we even want to represent on the day where I should represent? Yeah, I hope you like this quick interjection of me being here, and I will be off again. I have a lot of stuff to think about, and also this is in the background. I think I've learned a few lessons, and I feel I know better now as to what I want to do, what I'm aiming for, and what I'm doing it for. And I'm very grateful for that. Okay.